Hello everybody. Long time no video. I've been posting on the journal, in my journal there, but haven't posted a video in a while. I haven't really had a whole lot to add to the discussion, I guess you could say. So I skipped the shave, so you can tell I look probably a good bit scruffier than normal, which doesn't make a whole lot of difference. I'm still pretty daggone handsome. So in keeping with the ABC theme, now I'm going to be like a letter behind, kind of like I was in elementary school and all through school, really. And also, tonight's shave is brought to you by Double Arrow for D. And also my Chinese Double Arrow. And actually, this is a good razor for a heavy growth because it's a thicker grind and probably should do quite well going right through this now 2-day growth. And also D for Declaration Grooming Dark Fall is the soap I'm using from my samples from Dave in Kentucky. So I got 2 Ds. I didn't get the full house like I did for the C's, which that's going to be a rarity because I don't have a huge collection of aftershaves. So sporadically I'll have the right letter aftershave and the right letter soap and that kind of thing. So with all these samples, I got a better probability of having soaps that are gonna work with it. I do have a fair amount of razors, so we'll see. I don't know. I haven't sat down and mapped it out like Dave in Kentucky did. Looks like he started in like some kind of fancy list. Like, ooh, I gotta sit down and map out all 26 letters. Ooh, and I knew there was 26 because, I'm smart. So, alrighty. So, went to the grocery store today, or just now about an hour ago. And, well, they were stocked up with most things. There are certain items that are still always blowed out when I go, and I've been looking for them ever since the start of all this fun. And apparently, before the next zombie apocalypse, you're going to want to stock up on brown sugar. I'm not sure why, but it seems to be in short supply, much like toilet paper. Of course, going without brown sugar is not much of a, and if I really needed them, I could make some, because I got a big jar of molasses and all, so that's all brown sugar is regular cane sugar with molasses in it. But just curious is all why that is. So, but I do believe there are two things. Not that I'm super religious or biblical or anything, but 2 things in the Bible that they warn against is gluttony and sloth. And unfortunately, like the baking aisle is blowed out. Everybody must have decided, well, I'm gonna be stuck home. Might as well get me some brownie mix and cake mix and cupcake mix and a couple things of icing. And wouldn't want to face the Chinese flu down without having my sweet tooth satisfied. So, but I mean, I can't be one to talk. I just went and called an audible, adapt and overcome. So I got me a big old family-sized pack of Oreo cookies. And had a gallon of milk, so milk and cookies for dessert tonight. So we all have our crosses to bear. So we're still fairly lightly impacted by everything here. I haven't looked at the latest numbers. Maryland's still doing really pretty well compared to like New York and New Jersey, and I think Detroit now. The hot spots. I think Nurse Dave out there in the California is seeing quite a bit of it in firsthand, and he's back on a 5-day stint in the command center. So he's keeping everything running smooth. So gotta go slow around here. These chin whiskers right here and here, they're like steel wool, thick, because they're getting gray. So I think the gray hair is harder to cut. It's more ornery. Might have to come up with a blacksmith that'll make me a straight razor with a carbide tip or something, so it won't dull as quick like they got on. Or diamond. We got diamond blades. We cut concrete and blacktop with there at work, and so maybe. And the blades we put on our snow plows actually it's laminated, and the center is about a 1/2 inch thick piece of carbide laminated by 2 other like 1/4 inch thick pieces of steel, and it's all like hot rolled together and everything. So they wear quite a bit better than just a regular steel blade, so depending on the winter, I can go through a good 8 to 10 snow events plowing my route before I wear it down to where then I got to change it out, and so that's not too bad. So bit of positive news. I've been watching the president's press conferences and all, and they're putting out some good stuff, and I've just been amazed at the media almost seems to be they super focus on all the negative stuff. When they get a chance to ask their questions, some of them are almost just idiotic questions about whether or not the president's going to wear a mask or all that stuff. And it's like, well, that's up to him, and does it really matter? I mean, you're supposed to be trying to get the news and give me information. I want to learn things that I don't know, and I mean, I don't really care whether or not he wears a mask or anything. I'm pretty sure most likely, if I had to guess, and I mean, I've got family members and acquaintances and my boss at my security job and all, were all members of the Secret Service. Now, they weren't on the presidential detail or aren't on the presidential detail, but in the Secret Service. And trust me, there's extensive measures put in place and all to keep the president from getting coronavirus. I guarantee it. So, I'd have to imagine here the last couple months, the visitor log at the White House has been probably they've only used maybe a couple pages of it, whereas normally there would be, you know, hundreds of people every day coming and going, and now there's probably a handful. So, but anywho, it's just kind of interesting what they focus on. I wish they'd focus on some more of the positive stuff. Yeah, give us the facts and the numbers in the proper context. That's why I look forward to any posts from Nurse Dave out there, because he's in the real world and he is not putting any sort of spin on it. So I would trust what he had to say, or other people I know in the healthcare industry, what their evidence is, what they've seen firsthand. I would put them accounts way above any person that's or any news report, you know. So the proper context, that's a key. Got to know what you're dealing with and the facts. I guess it just goes back to, what I've said it a couple times here, and it'll never leave me. My military mindset. Yeah, you react. You go by your training. You go by your gut, and you never panic. You just deal with it and do what you got to do. But you can't start freaking out. If you do, you already lost. You're done. So, trust your eyes, trust your ears, trust your instinct, and educate yourself. And go from there. So, I know, Captain Obvious. Really like this soap. This soap's going to be on my Christmas list for this Christmas. Nice performance, nice smell. Dave sent me quite a few samples, and quite a few of them are very good. So he is the #1 soap salesman, and all. I think some of these companies probably ought to be cutting him commission checks. So very enjoyable. And the old Double Arrow did the business. May not be pretty, may not be fancy, but it's a serviceable razor. And for the price that I got it for, no complaints at all. So don't really like round points most of the time, but that one's a soft round point. It's a little bit rounded, but not real round. And all. So I think I'm gonna go with the Proraso Red aftershave, and
top it off. So hope all you guys are getting through this and bearing with it, and don't have any friends and family or loved ones that end up being affected by this and all. So we are ready to start out Monday now, clean shaven. Lord knows if I showed up to work all looking scraggly and everything, I might not be allowed to drive my dump truck. You know, we do have standards. So, and my dog was starting to look at me a little funny. I think he was a little bit worried. You know, they have this sense when things aren't the way they should be, they usually get a little antsy. So he recognized me, but he knew there was something wrong. So he'll probably be relieved now that I'm clean shaven. And hopefully I can remain in good standing on the cadre here with missing, I think. I mean, they give you, I don't know, but is it 3 strikes, I guess? I don't know. I'll have to find out. I didn't read the fine print too much when I joined up. You know, everybody just goes right down through and finds that box that says, I agree, and you click it. And you don't know what you're agreeing to. I don't know. I might have agreed to like donate my kidneys to somebody or something by being on the website. If you want them, you can have them. I'm not sure whether you really would, but maybe they're better than what you got. Hopefully, you know, hopefully yours are fine. So, all right, I'm rambling. Kind of tired. Long day. Oh, and I forgot all about talking about my my trip up to the park up there at the top of the Chesapeake Bay. The Susquehanna turns into the Chesapeake Bay, and we were on a park that overlooks, it's got a pretty nice peninsula that goes out and everything. So they closed down the beach and the other areas where they don't want people congregating, but we pulled off an area by ourselves and then hiked down like a deer trail and got to where you could see the water, and there was a nice breeze, and just kind of sat on a log and hung out and chilled out and soaked up some rays and watched, there's a few birds flying around and some driftwood down in the water, and one boat, guy was out, 2 or 3 people out on the boat fishing. So, but if you're ever in this neck of the woods and all, like the bay is basically 90% of Maryland's identity comes from being all around the bay and everything. So, I mean, basically every county except for a handful of counties has shoreline. Part of the shoreline is part of the edge of whatever county it is. So it's a very big part of the state. I guess the same like if you lived up in like Michigan, it'd be like Lake Michigan is to them as the bay is to us. So I will talk to you guys later, and you have a good one, have a good week, and I'll check in sporadically and all. I'm gonna probably have to sit down and binge probably Dave's and Kentucky's and Nurse Dave's and Gears. I've got 3 or 4 people that I haven't watched probably the last 2 or 3 videos they did, so catch up with all you guys and see how you're all doing. Take it easy. Have a good one.